They told us we'd be jumping into hell. Turns out they were right. June 5th, 1944. We were in England, packed into C-47s, waiting for the order to go. I was with the 101st Airborne Easy Company, 506th Regiment, 23 years old, farm kid from Nebraska who'd volunteered for the Paratroopers because the extra $50 a month seemed like good money. Stupid reason to jump out of a perfectly good airplane into occupied France, but there you go. We'd been training for 2 years, running Currahee until we puked, jumping at Fort Benning, then again in England, endless briefings about the mission, study the maps, memorize the drop zones, know your rally points, click, clack. That's how you'd identify friend from foe with those little metal crickets they gave us. Seemed simple enough in the briefings. The plane was packed, 18 of us plus our gear. We were carrying so much weight, main chute, reserve chute, rifle, ammunition, grenades, rations, gas mask, entrenching tool. We could barely move. I weighed maybe 160 pounds. My gear weighed almost as much. Lieutenant Meehan was our plane commander. Good officer, kept cracking jokes to keep us calm. Just like training, boys, except people will be shooting at us this time. Nobody laughed. We knew what was coming. We'd seen the intelligence reports, German anti-aircraft batteries, flooded fields, hedgerows. We were dropping at night behind enemy lines, hours before the beach landings. Our job was to secure the causeways, take out artillery positions, cause chaos. High probability of casualties, they said. Some estimates put it at 70%. I sat there in that plane, feeling the weight of all that gear, listening to the engines drone. Tried not to think about it. Tried to focus on the mission, on my training, on anything except the fact that in a few hours I might be dead. Johnny Martinez sat next to me, kid from Los Angeles, best friend I had in the company. We'd gone through jump school together. He kept checking his rifle over and over, checking the action, like he was trying to memorize it. You scared? He asked me. Terrified, I said. Yeah, me too. We'd been told the jump would be at 0130 hours. Low altitude, 500 feet instead of the usual 1,200. Less time in the air, less time for German gunners to shoot us, but also less time for your chute to open if something went wrong. The plane lifted off around midnight. We flew in formation, hundreds of C-47s, crossing the English Channel in the darkness. I looked out the door and could see other planes around us, their navigation lights like fireflies in the night. It was beautiful, in a way. All of us heading toward the same destination, the same fate. I wonder sometimes how many of those men I saw in the other planes made it through that night. Not many, I'd guess. We hit the French coast around 100. That's when everything went to hell. The German anti-aircraft fire started immediately. Flak bursts everywhere, orange and red explosions lighting up the sky. The plane bucked and shook. The pilots were taking evasive action, throwing the aircraft around, trying not to get hit. We were standing by then, hooked up to the static line, waiting for the green light. The jump master was by the door, watching, waiting for the drop zone. The plane got hit. I felt it shudder, heard metal tearing, smelled smoke. Someone was screaming, but I couldn't tell who over the noise of the engines and the anti-aircraft fire. The green light came on. Go! G.O.! Go! I shuffled toward the door. Couldn't run with all that weight. Just shuffled forward in line. The guy ahead of me jumped. Then it was my turn. I threw myself out into the darkness. The wind hit me like a fist. The prop wash from the plane spun me around. I felt the static line yank my chute open. The jolt nearly knocked me unconscious. Then I was floating, drifting down through the darkness and the tracers and the flak. I could see the ground rushing up at me. Too fast. Way too fast. We were lower than 500 feet. Maybe 300. Maybe less. I hit the ground hard. My left ankle twisted under me. I collapsed, tangled in my chute, trying to get free, trying to get my rifle ready, trying to orient myself. Where was I? Where was everyone else? Where was the rally point? I cut myself free of the chute and looked around. I was in a field, could see hedgerows in every direction, could hear gunfire. Close, very close. Could hear planes overhead, German flak still firing. Could hear men screaming somewhere in the darkness. But I couldn't see anyone. I was alone, completely alone, somewhere in Normandy. No idea where. No idea where my unit was. No idea which direction to go. I pulled out my cricket. Click, clack. Waited. Nothing. Click, clack. Click, clack. Still nothing. I started moving toward where I thought the rally point should be. Every sound made me freeze. Every shadow looked like a German soldier. My ankle was throbbing, but I kept moving. Had to find my unit. Had to complete the mission. I came across a paratrooper hanging from a tree. Dead. Shot to pieces before he could get out of his harness. I recognized his face, Charlie Thompson from Baker Company. We'd played cards together in England. I kept moving and found another paratrooper in the next field, drowned in one of the flooded areas. Face down in 2 feet of water, weighted down by all his gear, unable to get free. I kept moving, started hearing the crickets then. Click, clack, click, clack, coming from different directions. Other paratroopers, scattered, lost, looking for their units. I clicked back, started heading toward the sounds. That's how we found each other in the darkness. Those stupid little metal crickets, click, clack, the sound of Americans trying to survive. By dawn, I'd found maybe 15 guys from different companies, none from my own. Lieutenant Winters from Easy Company was the highest-ranking officer we could find, so he took charge. We had no idea where we were. The jump had scattered us across miles of French countryside. Our mission was to secure Exit 2 off Utah Beach. We had no idea where Exit 2 was. We started moving at first light, hedgerow to hedgerow. The hedgerows in Normandy, nobody had properly explained what they'd be like. 8 feet tall, thick as walls, centuries old. Perfect defensive positions. You couldn't see more than 20 yards in any direction. Every field was a potential ambush. Every hedgerow could hide German soldiers. We'd cross a field, hit the ground, wait, listen, move forward, do it again. We ran into a German patrol around 0700, 6 of them. They were as surprised as we were. Firefight lasted maybe 30 seconds. When it was over, 3 Germans were dead. 2 surrendered. 1 ran. We lost 2 of our guys. Kids I'd just met an hour ago. Didn't even know their names. We kept moving, found more paratroopers. Some wounded, some dead, some still hanging from trees, shot before they could land. The Germans had known we were coming. They were ready. Found a C-47 that had been shot down. Crashed in a field. The crew was still inside, burned. I could see their shapes through the twisted metal. Couldn't tell how many. Couldn't make myself get closer to count. We found a village around noon, Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. There was fighting. Germans in the buildings. Paratroopers trying to clear them out. House to house. Room to room. We joined the fight. That's where I killed my first man. Face to face. Kicked in a door. German soldier inside. He raised his rifle. I shot him 3 times. Center mass. He fell backward. Died looking up at me. He was maybe 18. Younger than me. I stepped over him and kept moving. Cleared the rest of the house. Found nothing. Just that one dead German boy who'd been in the wrong room at the wrong time. By evening, we'd linked up with the main force, found out what had happened. The drop had been a disaster. Units scattered across 50 square miles. Men landing in flooded areas and drowning. Men landing in towns full of German troops. Men landing so far from their drop zones they spent days trying to get back. Casualties were high, real high, but we'd accomplished the mission, mostly. The causeways were secure. The artillery positions were neutralized. The beach landings could proceed. They told us we'd done good, told us we were heroes. All I could think about was that German kid, the look on his face when I shot him, the way he fell, the way he'd looked at me. I'd killed him in his own country, in some random house, in some random village. He was defending his home, and I'd kicked in his door and shot him dead. War's supposed to have good guys and bad guys, clear lines. But in that moment, looking down at that dead German boy, I couldn't tell which one I was. I'm still not sure. We stayed in Normandy for 33 days, fighting in the hedgerows. Every field a new battle, every advance measured in yards, not miles. The Germans were dug in, fighting for every inch. The hedgerows made everything worse. You couldn't see, couldn't call in artillery without hitting your own men, couldn't coordinate, couldn't flank, just frontal assaults, over and over, into machine gun fire and mortars in the endless hedgerows. Johnny Martinez found me on the third day. I'd given him up for dead. His plane had been hit worse than ours. They'd jumped way off course. He'd spent 2 days making his way back, fighting Germans, dodging patrols. When I saw him walking up alive, I nearly broke down. "Thought you were dead," I said. "Thought you were too," he said. That's all we said about it. What else was there to say? Lieutenant Meehan never made it. His plane went down. Everyone aboard killed. Good officer, good man, gone. We lost men every day. Snipers, mortars, machine guns, friendly fire. Happened more than anyone wants to admit. Artillery falling short. Planes bombing the wrong coordinates. Men shooting at shadows and hitting other Americans. The worst was the mortars. You'd hear them coming, that whistle. You'd hit the ground and pray it wasn't landing on you. Sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes it was. You'd get up and see what was left of the guy who'd been standing next to you. After a while, you stopped learning names, stopped making friends. The replacements would come up from the beach, and you'd see them. Fresh uniforms, clean faces, eager to prove themselves. Give them a week, and they'd be different, if they survived. Most didn't survive. We took a farmhouse on day 12, found a French family hiding in the cellar. Mother, father, 3 kids. They'd been there for a week. No food, no water, just hiding from the fighting going on above them. The father kept thanking us, kept saying we were liberators, kept calling us heroes. His house was destroyed. His farm was a battlefield. His livestock was dead. His fields were cratered. But he was thanking us. I didn't feel like a hero. I felt like I'd brought hell to his doorstep. By the time we were pulled back for the push inland, the company was at half strength, maybe less. Some were dead. Some were wounded bad enough to be evacuated. Some just broke. Combat fatigue. Shell shock. Whatever you want to call it. Their minds gave out before their bodies did. I'd survived. Again. Didn't know how. Didn't know why. Just luck, probably. Bad luck for someone else, good luck for me. That's how it works. Someone has to die so someone else can live. Random, meaningless, just the way it is. I stopped questioning it, stopped thinking about it, just kept moving forward, kept fighting, kept surviving. That's all you can do. My breaking point came in July. We were fighting near Carentan. German counterattack, heavy. They wanted that town back, and they were willing to pay for it. We were dug in along a road. Hedgerow at our backs, open field in front. The Germans came across that field in force. Infantry supported by armor. We had no anti-tank weapons. Nothing that could stop those panzers. We opened fire anyway, had to. Couldn't retreat. Orders were to hold. The Germans came on. We shot them down. They kept coming. We shot down more. They kept coming, like a wave, endless, unstoppable. One of the panzers broke through. rolled right up to our position, started firing point blank into the hedgerow, the .50 caliber machine gun just tearing through everything. Men were dying, screaming, torn apart by the heavy rounds. Johnny was next to me. We were firing at the infantry, trying to keep them back. The Panzer swiveled its gun toward us. I saw it happening, saw the barrel turning, knew what was coming. I grabbed Johnny, tried to pull him down into the foxhole, tried to get him below ground level before the gun fired. Wasn't fast enough. The round hit him, .50 caliber, center mass, just tore him apart. 1 second he was there, next second he wasn't. Just blood and bone and pieces. Some of it hit me. I was covered in Johnny, in what was left of him. I couldn't move. Couldn't think. Just sat there in that foxhole, covered in my best friend, while the battle raged around me. Someone was screaming. Realized it was me. Couldn't stop. Just kept screaming. Sergeant Randleman pulled me out, dragged me back, got me away from the line, sat me down, slapped me until I stopped screaming. "You're alive," he said. "You hear me? You're alive. Now get your shit together." I got my shit together, went back to the line, kept fighting, because that's what you do. Your friend dies and you keep fighting. But something broke in me that day. Something that couldn't be fixed. Johnny and I had gone through everything together. Jump school, training, England, the jump into Normandy, every battle since. We'd survived together, promised we'd make it through together. He was supposed to go home, get married, have kids, live the life he'd always talked about. Instead, he got torn apart by a German machine gun in a field in France, and I got to keep living. What kind of sense does that make? What kind of justice? What kind of God lets that happen? I stopped believing in God that day. Stopped believing in much of anything except the fact that war doesn't care who deserves to live and who deserves to die. It just kills. Random, efficient, indifferent. And the ones who survive, we're not the lucky ones. We're just the ones who have to carry it. It's been 20 years now. 2 decades since I jumped into Normandy. Since Johnny died. Since I came home. Except I didn't come home. Not really. My body made it back. Got on a ship in 1945. Sailed back to the States. Mustered out at Fort Dix. Took a bus back to Nebraska. My folks were waiting. Whole town threw a parade. Called me a hero. Gave me medals. But the person they were welcoming home, he died in France. What came back was something else. A shell. Going through the motions. Pretending to be alive. I can't sleep without the nightmares. Every night I'm back there, jumping into darkness, fighting in the hedgerows, watching Johnny die, over and over. I wake up screaming. My wife, she's patient. She tries to understand, but how can she? How can anyone who wasn't there understand? I can't handle fireworks. 4th of July, I have to stay inside. Windows closed, hands over my ears. The sounds, they take me right back. I'm in Normandy again. Flak bursting around the plane. Mortars falling, machine guns firing. I can't watch war movies. People think they're exciting, entertaining. They don't know. They don't understand. War isn't exciting. It's not an adventure. It's horror. It's watching your friends die. It's killing boys who are younger than your own son. It's coming home with pieces of yourself missing that nobody can see. My son asked me about the war once. He was 10. Wanted to know if I was brave, if I'd killed Germans, if it was like in the movies. I couldn't answer him, just walked away. My wife told him not to ask again. He's 18 now, talking about joining the army. Thinks it'll make him a man, give him purpose, adventure. I don't know what to tell him. How do I explain? How do I say that the thing he's chasing will destroy him? That there's no glory, no honor, just survival and guilt and nightmares that never end? But I can't. Because if I tell him the truth, I'll have to admit that everything I did, everything we fought for, all the men who died, that it was all just horror, that there was no meaning, no purpose, just killing and dying and trying to survive. I can't take that away from him. Can't take away his innocence, his belief that the world makes sense, that there are good guys and bad guys and clear lines between them. So I stay quiet, keep it inside, carry it alone. That's what we do, we survivors. We carry the weight of what we saw, what we did, who we lost. We carry it so others don't have to know, so they can believe in heroes and glory and righteous wars. We jumped into Normandy on June 6, 1944. Thousands of us, young men from all over America, farm kids and city boys and everyone in between. We completed the mission. We won the battle. We helped win the war. But we never came home, and none of us did.